I am the reason why you should not walk outside in South Dakota at night. Hello, my name is Walking Sam, or the Tall Man. I roam around the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, where 103 self-exits were attempted in 2014. Many of the Lakota people believe I am the cause of these tragedies. This is because I am cursed to walk this world forever, and I do not want to be alone. So to cope, I hang out near the dark roads of South Dakota at night, and whistle to lure victims closer. I mainly target teenagers who are feeling lost or depressed, and if they get close enough, I will be standing there, 7 feet tall, holding my arms out, with all my previous victims' spirits hanging underneath like decorations. My presence is hypnotic, and I will get into your head and tell you that you are worthless, and do not belong in the land of the living. Once you are in my presence, it is most likely too late and will take a miracle to survive. So to make sure this doesn't happen to you, always remember.
Alafia! My name is Oshun, and on this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer. Do me a favor, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Soul Tribe for your weekly dose of supernatural, coming to you every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, and possibly a bonus day. Y'all, my Soul Tribe. Tribe is with a Y because it's for you, and I love y'all. Before we get into this video, I do want to say thank you. The girls are liking the hair, honey. And it's Amazon. I love Amazon. But I will eventually start an Amazon store, and I will keep you posted. Let's get into this video.
The reason you should not go near the water in Alaska. Hello, my name is Irvin. I am a Qualapilot, and we are responsible for thousands of missing children. We live in the waters of northern Alaska. The Inuit people have been telling our story for hundreds of years, and unlike a siren, we are not pretty in any way. We have long greasy hair, scaly skin, and webbed fingers. We wear matics, which are coats with a big pouch to carry babies. We need children to feed on their young energy, so we can stay immortal. We hide near the edge of water and wait for a moment where the children are alone. Then we lure them over with our strange hum. And when they are close enough, we quickly snatch them into our pouch and dive deep into the cold, dark water without making a sound, never for them to be seen again. After this has all happened, the Alaskan people
You can now check if there's a part 2 by pressing share and more.
So, depending on how long, there might be a part 2, but for now, I'm just going to tell you something. Partying on the res can be a dangerous thing, especially if you're new to the area. You might wind up in a fight, you might have some fun, or you might wind up with a new baby mama. Speaking of winding up with a new baby mama, you're going to meet a nice native girl and ask her out on a date. And while she's preparing for her date with you, she's going to be calling up her mom. Hey, Mom, I need you to watch your grandshits tonight so I can go on a new date. Think I might have the kids a new dad. Come on, hurry up. I'll give you bingo money for tomorrow. So, after she convinces her mom to watch the kids, you guys are out on your date at the casino. You have a good meal, throw in a couple bucks, maybe win up a little bit of money. And she wants to start drinking. And now, trust me when I say, these native girls, they can drink, and they'll drink you under the table. So, after you leave the casino, you go to the bar, you guys start drinking. She's doing shots of tequila, vodka, mixed drinks, double shots, and you're double fisting just trying to keep up, which is dangerous because now you're to the point where you're about to black out. Now, after you've already drank too much, you blacked out, you don't know where you are, you wake up in her bed the next day. It's in her mother's basement, surrounded by concrete and bed sheets for doors. You wake up, roll over, there's a little kid sitting next to you, full row, silver cap teeth, drinking a Pepsi. He looks you dead in the eyes and says, "Are you my new daddy?" So, in a panic, you throw all your clothes on, you run upstairs, you try to make it out the door. She stops you. She says, "Wait, I made you breakfast. Got you powdered eggs with Kamad cheese and Spam." And you can't pass up a good, native breakfast. You just can't. So, as you're sitting there having breakfast, she yells at her kids, "Kids, get in here. Come meet your new dad." And, she might be right, because you never know. Maybe you didn't cover it up. Maybe you raw dogged it. And now, she's pregnant. Funny thing about that is, these native girls get pregnant easy. All you gotta do is breathe on them and she's knocked up.
Anybody that has been on the Navajo reservation has either probably heard of some creepy things or have experienced pretty creepy things, namely skinwalkers. I have only seen one. Here's my story. I come from a small town in North Arizona that's sandwiched between the Paiute Reservation to the north and the U.S. largest Navajo reservation to the south. My high school being so small, a 1A high school that has, on average, 80 students enrolled every year, I always had to travel south about 5 to 10 hours one way to play another high school in any sport. This means that we travel a lot on the Navajo res, and we would also stay at hotels when we would head out to play and come home in the morning. But this trip was a little bit different. I remember the basketball coach saying that the school didn't have enough money to put up the teams in a hotel that trip, so we were going to be on the road for a total of about 12 hours. I was the only male senior to play basketball that season. We had just got done playing our game and headed home on our bus, Big Blue. We were headed out about 2 hours of driving before we had entered the res. By this time, everyone was asleep, with it being about 2 in the morning. When we had crossed the res's border, I noticed the bus driver had sped up and was now going about 85 miles per hour. I thought this was a little weird because he never exceeded the speed limit, at least not in my high school career. For some reason, I couldn't fall asleep like the rest of my teammates, and I just sat at the back of the bus, staring out across the desert landscape that was lit up by the full moon. As I looked out, I could see a figure running towards the bus.
Does any of my viewers live on a reservation, have any reservation stories? I would love to hear them. Please put them down in the comments. And has any of my viewers ever lived or visited North Arizona, in that area that he spoke of in between the reservation and whatever? But I don't really know what happened. He said something was running up along the bus. I guess it was supposed to be a skinwalker story, but we didn't get it all, so I apologize for that. But Tall Man Honey, very first video, he out here disrupting innocent teenagers. Well, I doubt innocent teenagers, but disrupting teenagers and making them depressed and getting into their conscious mind and having them feel and say and do weird, crazy things. That's really crazy. Anyone from South Dakota know of that urban legend? Ever heard of that urban legend? Or how about Alaska? Any Alaskan viewers? I just discovered some things about Alaska that I had no clue of, including Alaska having rappers. What? Like hood niggas? Interesting. Never knew that. Anyway, but have you ever heard of the legend? Have you ever heard of the legend, Kuala Pulut? Maybe saying that absolutely wrong. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But have you ever heard of that legend of them snatching kids and taking them deep down into the cold, freezing waters of Alaska? I'm going to stay away. But I ain't hear them say nothing about adults either. So they might stay away from adults because they don't want that work. Who knows? I don't know. But have you ever partied on a res? Have you ever partied on a res with the natives? sound like they get down. They sound like they know how to party to me, have a good old time. But the story where he's talking about the children and he's talking about, are you my new daddy? Y'all know where that movie's from. You should know. If you don't know, then figure it out. But that was funny. But like the description, that sounds regular to me. Like from where I come from, all the same situations happen and occur, including the trickery and the effery. So that wasn't a haunted story. That was just a crazy story, I guess. But anyway, next video.
I am at the 49th Annual Arts and Crafts Festival at the Miccosukee Indian Reservation. And I'm finally about to try fried bread. I wasn't able to try the fried bread at the powwow over there at the Porch Creek Indian Reservation. It wasn't available, but now I'm about to try it. And let's see how they made it over here. Okay. Oh yeah. And I have to say, it's very luxurious. I approve. Very greasy though. If it ain't got no grease, it ain't for me. Let's go. How the Indians say? I like my fried bread like I like my women. Round, brown, and greased.
It was this guy from India, right? Basically, up till he was like 20-something years old, his life was normal as then randomly, bro, in his mid-20s, he started to complain to his family that he was having like abdominal pain like crazy. He was like, yeah, like, I don't know, like my stomach and like just all right here has been like hurting and shit recently. But his parents are like, bruh, you know, maybe you just having like a stomach ache or some shit, bruh. Just see what's good for a couple days and then let us know. It kind of like technically goes away, but it doesn't. Like he's like, all right, it doesn't feel as bad, I'm just gonna leave it alone. He leaves it alone, bro, up until, cause like I think at the time it was probably like 1970s when, you know, he was like in his 20s. Up until 1999, he ends up going to the hospital because he literally could not breathe because this thing was like blocking his airway. Like, and he goes to the doctor. They're like, okay, cool, we're gonna see what's good with you. They start to cut this dude open, bro. Mike, when they cut this guy open, bro, you're not gonna believe what's inside this guy's stomach. A baby, Mike. I put the
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
Daryl!
Better move.
They're chained!
Get out now! Get out! On the ground! All of you on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't move!
We're environmental protesters! Please!
Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Please!
Scary Urban Legends, Indiana. The 100 Steps Cemetery. The story that has been told as you arrive at the old cemetery at midnight after you get up the nerve to get out the car and start your way to the graves. You are supposed to count the steps as you climb. This isn't as easy as it sounds, however, since some of the steps have cracked from age or have been overgrown with grass once you have managed to make your way to the top. However, there is more than just physical exhaustion to take your breath away. The legend maintains that if you will turn and face the open field by the cemetery, especially if the moon is shining from that direction, a ghost will appear out of the misty moonlight. Without speaking a word, this ghost, said to be the cemetery's first undertaker, will reveal a vision to you. It is a vision of your own death. Then the ghostly visitor from the other world will quietly disappear. Your mission is not finished, however, for as you make your way back down the stairs, you are supposed to count the stairs back down to the bottom. If you count a different number on the way down, it is said that the vision of your death will come true. If you attempt to forego the process of counting the stairs and climb up or down the hill without using them, the undertaker is said to appear behind you and give you a shove, sending you tumbling down the hill.
So, I just wanted to share this scary story that happened to me when I was 15. So, I was living in White Eagle, and that is like the Ponca tribal like reservation. I'm Ponca and I'm Oto. So, anyways, it was nighttime. I was brushing my hair, getting ready for bed. And then all of a sudden, I hear this like man's whisper voice. And he just said, "Hey." Like, I lost it. Like, I threw my brush, ran out of my room, ran into my brother's room across the hall. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Harry, did you hear that?" And obviously, like, he didn't. He was just playing his PlayStation, you know. And so I knew nobody was playing a trick on me because it was just like, it was like bone chilling. Like, it gave me chills. It scared like the crap out of me. So I told him about it, and he was like, and we knew it was something. And we weren't about to look out the window because, like, my mom always told us, like, never look out the window at night because something could be looking back at you. And, like, I still don't. You know, I'm not going to look out the window at night, ever. And I tell my kids that, too. I'm like, do not look out the window. So, anyways, everybody else was asleep, so I finally got okay enough to go back in my room, and I never heard nothing after that. It just felt weird. So the next morning, I was telling my mom about it, and she told me that my stepdad had heard something that morning too. So she was like, "Yeah, something's around." So they ended up smoking the house off, and then whatever it was, it went on, it moved on, and it didn't bother us no more. So flash forward, you know, several years later, I'm an adult. I'm on Facebook scrolling, and I come across this video, and I want to say it was shared by like an Osage lady, and she had recorded that same voice that said, "Hey." And so it's something. I don't know what it is, but if you've ever like had that voice, experienced that, you know, let me know in the comments, you know, if you know what that is. But that was scary. You know, that's one of several scary stories that's like happened to me. But anyways, just let me know.
Wow. So is it true to not look out the window at night? Is that just a reservation thing? Is that in general? Because I ain't know that, honey. And I definitely be feeling creeped out when I look out the window at nighttime, and you can't see nothing if there's no lights around. You just see your own reflection literally looking back at you through the window or on the window. So creepy. Don't know, honey. Let me know in the comments. But the guy, he was fine. Do you hear me? He was fine, honey. Ooh. Ladies, y'all agree. I know y'all agree. He look good. Anyway, focus. The story about the guy from India, I don't even know how I let that slip in here because that's not even the same thing. But that story clearly was not a man. It was clearly a woman. Or it could have been maybe a person born with both genitalias. I don't know if they can have babies or not. I will have to do some research on that because I don't want to speak on nothing I don't know, honey. But that clearly was not no man having a baby. That's impossible. Let's be real. And the Nevada Rangers, oh, they some gangsters. They're the real gangsters that we need to be worried about. They out here ramming people, damn near running the bitch over, and did not care. Then pulled the joint out on her. Like, get down on the ground. Like, oh my God. Like, that was really crazy, really crazy. That's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. And then the 100-step cemetery, like, what if you miss a step? What if you count too many steps? What if you don't count enough steps? Yeah, I don't want to see visions of my death. I don't want to see visions of nobody else's death. I don't want to be pushed down those steps. So I'm going to just stay away. Simple as that. Next video.
So this clip I'm going to show you, this family has been experiencing paranormal activity for a while now. And of course they have cameras inside the house and their own cell phones documenting this. But this video I'm about to play right here really creeped me out. Their YouTube channel is Zark Scary Hunting. Apparently a maid they used to have put a curse on them. But I'll get more into that in another video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and follow for more scary videos.
Have you ever heard of the Indian urban legend of Bullet Baba? The legend revolves around a motorcycle that is believed to have supernatural powers and provides protection to travelers. The story goes that in 1988, Ombana, whose real name was Om Singh Rathore, was riding his Royal Enfield motorcycle late at night when he lost control and crashed into a tree. He tragically lost his life in the accident. The police impounded the motorcycle and took it to the police station as part of their routine procedure. However, the motorcycle mysteriously reappeared at the accident site the following day. The police, perplexed by this unusual occurrence, seized the motorcycle once again and emptied its fuel tank. They even chained it to prevent it from being moved. Despite their efforts, the motorcycle miraculously returned to the crash site once more. The locals perceived this as a sign and began worshipping the motorcycle as a guardian deity. They constructed a shrine around it, where the Bullet Baba's motorcycle stands to this day. Devotees offer prayers, flowers, and incense at the shrine seeking protection for their journeys. According to the legend, it is believed that Ombana's spirit resides in the motorcycle, and he continues to protect travelers from accidents and mishaps on the road. It is said that those who pass by the shrine offer their respects to Bullet Baba by lighting incense and pouring water over the motorcycle. Furthermore, there is a belief that if anyone steals or disrespects the motorcycle, they will face misfortune or be involved in a serious accident. Several anecdotes and stories circulate about individuals who ignored the sanctity of the shrine and suffered unfortunate consequences soon after.
Kind of bright moon kind of gave everything a little hint of a bluish kind of look to the white snow on the ground. We're walking, just laughing, joking, having a good time, something to do. So we're down there and we go to the bleachers, and we're sitting on the bleacher where the speaker stand is. I'm about halfway up sitting there, and my brother-in-law's to my left, and my younger brothers are a little bit below us on the next step down. And Joe, he's standing there smoking a cigarette, and that's what they wanted to do, was take a break and smoke a cigarette and just visit and being out having something to do. And the ground, the snow was really thin, and like I said, it had melted a little bit, and when it got cold it froze again, so it was really crunchy to walk on. You know, on this nice moonlit night, you could see straight across the arena just a blanket of frozen snow, and all the way out to the fence, nothing but white frozen snow. And they were visiting, and we were laughing about this and that, and Joe says, hey, can you guys hear that? So we got quiet and listened, and off in the distance, you could hear a faint sound of as if somebody walking on the snow. They're crunching, the footsteps are making crunching sounds. So we start paying attention to it a little bit. And, they're trying their best to hear. We think something walking way off in the distance. And at one point, Joe, he gets up and takes a few steps off the bleachers, and his feet crunch the snow, and he stops. And he says, "Hey guys, it sounds like it's getting a little bit closer." So we all get up and we stand up. We get to the bottom of the bleacher and we're listening, and sure enough, it sounds like the same sound as if one of us were out where the cars would be parked at the powwow on the far side of the arena. And we're just listening, and we can hear some crunching sounds, so we can't be real definitive of what it is. And Joe says, "Hey, it's coming closer." And it's a clear, bright moonlit night. We're looking and we can't see anything. And we can see all the way out to the where the fence is, and we can't see a thing. But he says it's getting closer. He said, "You know what? It sounds like it's just on that side of the arena, right there." And sure, we can very clearly hear the crunching of footsteps coming toward us. And he again says, "You know what? The sound is coming directly from in front of me. It sounds like whatever it is, or whoever it is right there in the middle of the arena where the drum sets. It's rocking right toward us. And you can hear the loud footfalls in the snow crunching quite clearly right in front of us." And so we, at that point in time, with whatever it was, we couldn't see it. But it was obviously walking straight for us, and it was really in close proximity to us, enough to make us feel uncomfortable as grown men. So we exited the area and did that pretty quickly, and we left. And to this day, I see Joe sometimes, and I'll talk to him about that time, and we still have no clue or no idea of what we experienced that night. And I don't mind sharing this type of experience because I was there. I lived through it. I've got a friend of mine that was there to this day where, we talk about it and we acknowledge what we heard that night, but we could not see a thing that was making those footfall sounds coming right up to where we were down there in Whitey Park.
Weeblaha.
No.
Beware the desolate roads of South Dakota's Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, especially when the night cloaks the land in its dark embrace. There, amidst the chilling whispers of the wind, lurks a terror beyond comprehension. I am Walking Sam, known to some as the Tall Man, a wretched spectre cursed to wander the earth for eternity. In the stillness of the night I haunt the forsaken pathways, my presence foreboding and my intentions sinister. The tragedies that befell 103 souls in 2014 were not mere accidents. They were my doing. The Lakota people speak of me in hushed tones, for they know the malevolence that courses through my veins. My cursed existence drives me to seek companionship in the most ghastly of ways. I prey upon the vulnerable, the lost, and the despairing. With a haunting whistle, I lure unsuspecting victims closer, drawing them into my web of darkness. And when they approach, they are met with a sight that freezes the blood in their veins. Towering at 7 feet tall, I stand with arms outstretched, adorned with the spectral forms of those who have met their demise at my hands. Their tormented souls dangle beneath me, a macabre display of my insatiable hunger for companionship. But it is not just the sight of me that ensnares my victims, it is the insidious whispers that penetrate their minds. I weave words of despair and worthlessness, convincing them that their place lies not among the living, but among the damned. Once ensnared in my grasp, escape becomes a distant dream. Few have survived my clutches, and those who do are forever haunted by the horrors they witnessed. So heed my warning, dear traveler, and shun the darkness that beckons from the shadows. For if you dare to walk the lonely roads of South Dakota at night, you may just find yourself face to face with the embodiment of despair itself. Beware, for I am Walking Sam, and I am the reason you should never wander outside after dark.
Yeah. Talk about nightmare fuel, man. The freaking tall man in South Dakota, like, what is that about? It must be something completely different than what everybody else be seeing around the world. Because I think that tall man around the world, he has like a top hat or something. This one, I didn't hear that he has one of those. And then the creepy pictures of him, of how he's supposed to look, I guess. Yeah, no, I'm a pass. And then I would say that paranormal footage, I think that was legit. I've seen videos from that same apartment throughout the years. So, and I know that that space is extremely haunted. I don't know if it's on a reservation or not, so I'm not sure why it made it to this video, but creepy none the least, okay? And then has anybody ever heard of the Bullet Baba? That's pretty cool. That's a kind spirit. I think that's cool that it you know, looks after other travelers and maintains like that area to make sure everyone is safe. It mysteriously just goes back to where the accident happened. So you never know what's going on with that. There are good spirits, just like there's good people. So we'll see. And then Indian County, the Indian County story, it was actually longer than that. I had to break it down because he can talk. And I didn't think the first part of it was really interesting. He was more so just describing the area and things like that. But crazy story none the least, to hear footsteps getting closer and closer, but you don't see anything. And you have other witnesses with you who experience the same thing as you. Freaky. I always think so. Very weird. But next video.
I'll be damned if I hear a hoof, like there's a horse in there, like in the distance, right? The steps coming closer. I just keep thinking, no, 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 and don't look back. Don't look back. And I'm still holding on to the car, and I'm trying not to panic, and I'm trying not to run. I feel the back door. I feel for the back handle. I'm like, okay, and I'm still holding on to the car, and I'm like, oh my God, and now I smell a smell. There's this strong smell, like dirty hair, I grab my door, and I reach down and I feel for the door handle. And I'm like, I'm just gonna slide into my car, and I'm gonna close the door. And I'm like, oh, come on, please just start. And it's like, again. It still wouldn't start. I was like, oh, one more time, please. And the door's still open. I'm too scared to reach out and pull that door closed. That smell is like right there. Finally, I turn it one last time and the sucker starts. I didn't even close the door. I just stepped through that thing and stepped on the gas. When I whipped to the left, that door slammed on its own and I ripped out of there and I took off. I know it had to be the Goat Man because everybody talks about the Goat Man being in that pavilion over by the train tracks. I was like, yeah, no, I almost seen him. And I swear, when I was pulling out there, I could see like eyes behind me, like red, like my taillights hit eyes. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, did I really just see that? Did that really just happen?
If you're black and from the South, like me, you've probably heard that you have ancestors who look like this. Well, who is this? These are the Nitstapi people, better known to lots of people as the Blackfeet or the Blackfoot. Now, they live in what is now modern-day Canada and Montana. Now, my people have never lived in Canada or Montana, and they have never lived in Virginia, South Carolina, or North Carolina, where we're from. So, what's the source of the story? Well, people have now started to kind of decipher that this may be a code word to explain somebody of African ancestry and somebody of European ancestry. And we've already talked about that in the previous video. But why the Blackfeet of all the other tribes that could have been at the center of the story? Well, it's because at this moment, they had a lot of media presence because they were at war with the United States government. There were lots of pictures and photographs about them, and they had lots of books written about them. That doesn't mean they were our ancestors.
Hey guys, I'm at White Eagle today. I'm looking for the famous magic man around here. They say he travels these fields. And I got word that there's foot tracks and sounds coming from this way. I'm getting ready to show you guys where I'm at. We've seen a few of the tracks covered. They just vanish. I know it's hard to see these tracks, but they got wide strides. They head towards the woods. So anybody at White Eagle has heard any of the stories, please send them in to me. Lidlaw.
Recently surfaced footage reveals a skinwalker on an Indian reservation in Blackfoot, Idaho. The area is notorious for numerous reported sightings of such entities, many from credible law enforcement officers, making the region a focal point for enthusiasts of the unexplained. If you look closely, at first it appears to be somewhat human-like, but as it approaches the camera, its body language and movements are nothing but terrifying. It also appears to be missing its right arm. Witnesses, including locals and police officers, describe encountering bizarre figures and animals with human faces after sunset. These sightings have sparked debates and discussions among locals, with many attempting to decipher the mysteries surrounding these entities. The consistency of these eerie encounters compels us to consider the existence of phenomena beyond our comprehension. Whether supernatural beings, undiscovered species, or cultural manifestations, the tales and images from Blackfoot, Idaho continue to intrigue and mystify.
Don't walk alone at night. Bill Russell was walking his dog at night when suddenly his dog started crying and fearing for its life. Bill then hears a voice telling him to come here. Out of nowhere, a 3-foot creature appears right in front of him. Him and his dog are so scared, they run the other way. Pukwudgies have been around for centuries. Native Americans warned white settlers about this, but unfortunately, they did not listen, and some of them had to learn the hard way. They appear nice and friendly, but right when you're close enough, they snatch you up and you're never seen again. There is dozens of people that see these little creatures every single year. So next time you're on a walk, be careful and look out.
Anybody ever heard of the Pukwudgie? I know they are called other names in other cultures. I do believe that they are a real entity, creature, situation of another world that shows its face in this world, dimension, whatever you want to call it. But I have heard of them before. And if they are what I think they are, you can, when they take you, you're gone. To you, on your side, they give you coins, or they're supposed to be promise you gold coins, but they're not gold. And then they play music for you or something, and then you're gone. What you think maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But then when you come back to your home, it's actually been years, multiple years, and people thought you were missing and all this craziness. So, yeah, that's a good one. And then, so has anyone ever experienced the Goat Man? That is pretty creepy. You ever experienced him or heard of him? Or I'm not sure what area that was that she was speaking about. It said the Lodge. So are you from that area? Do you know anything about the Goat Man? Have you ever experienced him? Were you told urban legends about him growing up? Let me know in the comments, honey. And then White Eagle area, in the Magic Man, they were like tracking his footprints, I guess, paw prints. I don't know what the Magic Man is. Is that the same thing as the Goat Man? Is that the same area? I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on that because I don't know. But that music was freaking annoying. I apologize about that. That music was horrible. I can't stand that elevator music. But I don't know, whatever. And then Blackfoot in Idaho. Residents, have you ever experienced or heard of skinwalkers being in that area particularly? Have you witnessed anything in the past? Let me know in the comments. All right, next video.
Hey, okay, fuckers! It is fucking ugly Indian here! Guess what? I'm just gonna tell you now fucking story! Now, this story is about a fucking ghost story! I'm not fucking kidding, guys. Me and my fucking family found out we were living on an actual fucking burial ground. And we lived on the fucking reservation. So there's an Indian burial ground on the reservation. Guess what? Here's what the fuck happened. My mom fucking headed the fuck out one night. And her fucking must have went on party or something. She left us all home. Me and my little brother, my little sister, and a couple of our little savvy cousins that didn't have bugs and could spend the night. So anyway, my fucking sister and her little girlfriends, like 4 of them, 3 of them were fucking out in the living room fucking partying and drinking. Probably just fucking said they babysit us so I had a place to drink, huh? Fucking anyway, we're fucking sleeping. And I just remember fucking getting woke up out of a fucking frantic. All fucking 4 of them are fucking screaming. Ah! And they had some fucking weapons. They fucking had a fucking tomahawk my dad made. One of them had a fucking steak tenderizer. The other one had a fucking old paring knife. The other one had a great big old fucking kitchen knife. Anyway, they fucking grabbed us and woke up us out of our bed. Come on, there's somebody in the house. There's somebody in the fucking house. And they said someone fucking there, and they fucking threw us all in the front bathroom. And they were in the front bathroom with us. And while I was just fucking sitting there, fucking quiet, I was fucking scared, didn't even know what the fuck to do. Just fucking scared. And guess what? Fucking pretty soon we hear coming up the fucking stairs at the end of the fucking hallway from the basement. Then we hear it coming down the fucking hallway. Then it fucking stops in front of the fucking door. And they said, see, that's what the fuck we were hearing. That's why we grabbed you guys. We fucking knew it was that fucking bad spirit. That fucker fucked with us all the time. And our sisters, and we were trying to tell them what it was, and we were trying to tell them there's nobody out there. And they didn't believe us, and they fucking made us stay in there. And they fucking put us all behind them, and now fucking ready and waiting. Fucking had their all tomahawk, their meat tenderizer, a fucking steak knife, getting ready to fucking stab and beat up this fucking ghost. Anyway, fucking, this fucker fucking just, woo! The fucking feeling just went away, the scariness, the fucking horror, the terror. I don't know how to explain it, but there was something out there and it was just, you could feel it. You could feel the fucking, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was fucking terrible. And then when it fucking went away, you felt it go away. They felt it went away even too, because they're all, we can go back out there now. And they fucking went back out there. Fucking try to go fucking put us back in our room and tell us go back to sleep. We ain't fucking going back in there. No. You fuckers just woke us up and fucking did all this to us. Don't fucking let us sleep in our fucking living room now, bitch. Anyway, fucking they try to make us go back to bed. And we aren't going back to bed, and we just laid in there. And they put the TV in there, and they fucking put a VCR. And we watched Aladdin. We had to keep rewinding it because they wouldn't let us go get another one. Anyway, we fucking come to find out when they were building our fucking house, someone must have fucking fell and died. And fucking fell in the cement in the basement when they're laying in there, fucker died. There was no getting him out. So we're just fucking sleeping on his fucking body every night. Fucking my mom said he fucking attacked her in her sleep and she couldn't wake up and she fucking couldn't breathe. And she always just gets mad at it like, shut up. Anyway, that's my fucking ghost story. I don't know if you fuckers are gonna believe me. You probably won't. But we are just fucking living on a fucking Indian burial ground, a fucking reservation, and it was fucking scary, and you don't fucking understand what the fuck we have to go through. So that's my fucking story. Fuckers.
I'm a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service. This experience is why I'll always fear the woods. When I was a kid, we used to go camping near a large Indian reservation, and I met a lot of kids who grew up there. I got to know one kid really well. His name was Nolan, and we ended up hanging out a lot when our families were in the area. Our folks got to know each other, so we'd all get in touch and camp out around the same time. We'd camped for about 2 weeks, so we were out there for a long time. So one year Nolan and I were out there. I think we must have been like 12 or so. We wanted to go out and camp near the river because we wanted to try night fishing. I think we must have been about 1/3 of a mile from the main camp. Far enough away that we couldn't hear or see anyone else. I remember that. We were messing around most of the day. I don't really remember much about it, but we ended up building a fire at some point, and I was really impressed because he had this flint or something that he used to start it. I'd never seen anyone do that before, so I thought it was pretty cool. I got him to teach me how to do it, and we lit some stuff on fire, which looking back was really stupid because it was the middle of fucking summer, and if I remember right, the fire warning was either at yellow or orange. But thankfully we didn't start anything major, and when it got dark we sat around and talked about whatever it is 12-year-olds talk about. I don't really remember. What I do remember is that at some point, he looked over my shoulder at the river and asked me if I could see something. The way our camp was set up, we were about 10 feet from the river, and we were at the widest point, so it was probably about 20 feet to the other bank. It gets hot up there in the summer, but the water's still cold, which is important. I look over my shoulder, and I could see something wading into the river on the other side. From where we were it looked like a deer, but we couldn't really tell because of the fire. I got up to look closer, and I saw a pair of antlers, so I figured it was a buck. But I thought it was weird that it was wading into the water, and it was definitely heading for us, and I asked Nolan what he thought we should do. He's looking at the fire with this weird expression, and he tells me to sit down and shut up, so I do, because I'd never seen him act that way before. He's whispering at me to ignore it, and to just keep talking like we were, but I couldn't think of anything to say. He was saying something about an episode of some show, but I could hear the deer coming through the water, so I wasn't really paying any attention, and I kept trying to see over his shoulder. But every time I did, he'd sort of hit me on the arm and make me look at him. I wasn't really scared, I remember. I was just sort of confused. But then I hear the deer come out of the water, and I could kind of make out what it looked like, and I realized it wasn't a deer because whatever it was walking on 2 legs. I started to get up. I was super freaked out, but Nolan just yanked me back down and talked louder about this television show, and I could tell he was just as scared as I was, probably even more. He leaned in and poked the fire with a stick, and he whispered that whatever I do, I can't speak to it. I could see it come closer, and it stood right behind Nolan's back. I was about ready to pee my pants, and I think I'd probably have run if I had been alone. I didn't want to leave Nolan, so I kept sitting really still and sneaking glances at it. It wasn't that tall, but the way it carried itself was just wrong, like its center of balance was screwed up. I can't really describe it, but it was kind of like it kept shifting too far forward. It just stood there behind Nolan for a long time, and eventually Nolan ran out of things to say, and we just kind of sat there for a second. The fire was making noise, but I thought I could hear this thing talking in a really low voice. I couldn't hear what it was saying, and I leaned forward a tiny little bit, and I actually did pee my pants when it leaned forward too. I couldn't see its face, but I saw its eyes. They were cloudy and milky, and if you want to know what they looked like, find that scene from Lord of the Rings where Frodo falls in that lake and all the dead people are floating toward him. That's what its eyes looked like. So all I saw were these two white eyes floating above Nolan's head, and the really vague shape of the antlers coming out of its head. I don't know what my face looked like, but at exactly the same time Nolan and I fucking booked it out of there, and we ran non-stop until we got back to the main camp. I asked him what that thing was, but he said he didn't know. He said his grandpa had only warned him that if anything ever came up to him when he was out in the woods, he was never, ever supposed to talk to it or listen to anything it had to say. I wanted to know if he'd heard it talking to, and he said that the only thing he'd been able to understand was help you. Follow for more horror stories.
I have been having a day, okay? Between this hair and these electronics, I don't know what's going on, but it's driving me crazy. I have never had this much trouble with none of my videos yet. And child, woosah, woosah. Anyway, honey. The search and rescue officer story, that was pretty scary. And now that I think about it, I think I may have actually lived on a reservation in the past. I don't know if there's any reservations in Maryland that you know about. Let me know, because I'm pretty sure that's where I lived at. I was a child. I went to elementary school out there as well. And I remember the school that I went to had like several tribal statues, like Indian tribal statues. The name of the school was Indian something, I forget. Even the road was called something, I forget. But I don't know, that memory just came to me listening to his story for whatever reason. Pretty weird. But anyway, why was that girl talking like that? Like, does she really talk like that? Is she a native and she actually talks like that? And she said the F word probably 100 times in that 5-minute story. But I hope she was not like making fun of anyone who talks like that is a native in a reservation, because that's racist. I don't know, but I wasn't feeling it. Like, I could barely even pay attention to what she was saying because of how she was speaking. It was, I don't know. In case that's how she really sound, I ain't gonna say nothing wild. But if she does not actually speak like that, she's wrong for doing the story in that tone, in that accent. Like, I don't get it. It wasn't funny to me at all. But next video.
I'll see what I can find on all of the reservations. But today we're going to talk about Walking Sam on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Walking Sam is a dangerous creature that lurks among the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. He's described as being a tall, thin skeleton of a man who wears a top hat and the souls of his victims among his arms. He closely resembles what became popularly known as Slenderman. It's said that Walking Sam is close once you can hear whistling among the trees. However, once you hear that whistling, it's already too late. Walking Sam will take over your mind if you encounter him. He'll put negative thoughts into your head, telling you that you're worthless and you should end your life. In 2015, a group of teenagers on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation all went out to the woods in hopes of committing suicide together. Luckily, a pastor in the community had heard rumors about what was going on. He showed up just in time and basically saved these teens' lives. When the teens were asked why they wanted to do such a thing, they talked about Walking Sam putting the idea into their head. I found lots of stories online about this Walking Sam, or the tall stick man, so if you get a chance, check him out. I'm gonna see what other urban legends I can find on the other reservations. But if you're from any of the other reses, drop a comment below or message me with any stories that you've heard of.
Over 600 of our bodies have been uncovered at Marieval Indian Residential School. Hi, I'm Chicho, and I'm one of many indigenous children that haunt the grounds of the school they sent us to when they ripped us away from our families. Long ago, we were torn from our families, stripped of our culture, and confined within these oppressive walls. In life, our laughter echoed through these corridors, but within these hallowed halls, a sinister darkness thrives. The memories of cruelty, of harsh discipline, and of stolen innocence are imprinted in these bricks. The anguish of those who never returned home reverberates through the night. We are the unseen, the unheard, but our presence is undeniable. Beneath the earth, unmarked graves hold the remains of our friends and kin, unalive through the punishments and mistreatment of our new school teachers, their stories lost to history. We yearn for the world to remember our names, to acknowledge the atrocities committed here. Many people have come to our school, but all those who disturb us will face a sinister fate. We love to torment those who disturb us the way our old teachers used to do to us. We are vengeful, and take pleasure in driving intruders to madness until they join us in our never-ending afterlife. We continue to haunt this place they forced us to call home. We are the silent witnesses and the voices in the darkness. I am Chicho, and I will not rest until our story is heard and our souls find peace.
Never believed in ghosts until I went to visit my friend on an Indian reservation. It was a beautiful place, but I soon realized that there was something dark and eerie about it. As soon as I arrived, I felt like I was being watched. It was like there were eyes on me everywhere I went, and it was a feeling that I couldn't shake off. My friend told me that there were legends of ghosts and spirits that haunted the reservation, but I didn't take it seriously. That was until I had my own experience. One night, I was staying in a cabin alone, and I heard strange noises outside. It sounded like someone was walking around, but when I looked out the window, there was nobody there. Then I heard a voice whisper my name. It was faint, but it was definitely there. I was so scared that I locked the door and hid under the covers. But the noises didn't stop. It was like the ghost was trying to get in. The next day, I asked my friend about the ghostly legends, and she told me that there had been many sightings of a young Native American girl who had died many years ago. She was said to be looking for her lost family and was trapped on the reservation. As the days went on, I experienced more strange occurrences. Objects would move on their own, and I would hear footsteps in the cabin when I was alone. It was like the ghost was trying to communicate with me, but I didn't know what it wanted. Finally, on my last night there, I had a vivid dream. I dreamt that I was walking through the reservation, and the young Native American girl appeared in front of me. She told me that she just wanted to find her family and be at peace. When I woke up, I knew what I had to do. I went to the reservation's chief and told him about my experiences. He listened to me, and then he took me to the spot where the girl's family was buried. We said a prayer for her and her family, and I felt like the ghostly presence lifted. From then on, I never experienced any more ghostly encounters on the reservation. But I will always remember the haunting feeling that I had when I was there, and the young girl who was searching for her family in the afterlife.
Oh, that's so sad. But at least she was able to help her, I guess. That was sweet. I wonder why Indian reservations are so haunted and active. I want to look into that too. That's interesting. And then Walking Sam sounds like the tall man, which sounds like Slender Man. So I wonder if all three are the same urban legend, just told in different cultures. Because it sounds very similar, especially the whistling and all of that. Yeah, I would think so. And then Maryville Indian Reservation School. Prayers to all those little souls. They need to be haunting people that's messing with their stuff and being disrespectful. So good for them. But may they rest in peace. May their little, positive energy be in motion forever. Sending my condolences, because that's really sad. That the whole school, like all the children in the school basically were tortured and treated like shit just to still be treated like that by living people in their afterlife. So yeah, haunt them, honey. Take them down. But I finally made it to the end of this video. Like, to y'all, it's only been 60 minutes. To me, it's been a whole day. Crazy. Freaking crazy. But I got through with it, y'all. It's over. It's over. This is a great video. I learned a lot about Indian reservations. Excited to maybe possibly go visit some in the future and see how I can experience different things for myself. But you made it to the end of this video, like I said. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your time. I do not take it for granted, Soul Tribe. I love you guys. The Y is for you because I love you. And stay tuned for more. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share to your friends, your family, your cousin, your auntie, your uncles. Everybody can get some of this, honey. Also, hit me up for any life insurance needs, any IULs, any digital marketing products. Anything money, if I got it, you got it. So let's learn together. Let's grow together. Let's get this money together. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, deuces. Ashe.